third-rate content here. We're here in the centre of historic Shrewsbury today, and we're going to go for a little walk around the ancient Old St Chad's churchyard. Have a little look at what we can find around here. First gravestone of note today is one Captain John Bambo. It's thought to be that this guy was the uncle of the slightly more famous Admiral John Bambo, who was famous in the Royal Navy. Got a pub named after him, and quite a few places around Shrewsbury named after him. Not after this guy, the Captain John Bambo of the Civil War. Fought for the parliamentarians and helped capture Shrewsbury in 1645. He led the group of parliamentarians who were based at Wem. The garrison of Shrewsbury had been depleted to reinforce Chester. And with his local knowledge, he led a group of men who captured Shrewsbury in July of 1645. He was immediately promoted to captain from lieutenant, but became infamous about 7 years after the Civil War because he changed sides to the Royalist cause, slightly strange thing to do at that time, and supported Charles II as he attempted an invasion of England. It failed, and Captain John Bambo ended up being executed by firing squad at the scene of his triumph some years earlier. So this is all that is left of Old St Chad's Church. This is known as the Ladies' Chapel. It was a part of Old St Chad's, but unfortunately it fell down in 1788. This is what it would have looked like originally, with the Lady Chapel here at the back. This is all that's left of it now. What happened was in 1788 there was cracks started to appear in the main tower, which would have been about here, along one of the main pillars. The surveyor for Shropshire at that time was the legendary civil engineer Thomas Telford. They got him in to survey the church, and his findings were not too good. He found that the too many graves had been dug on the site around here, undermining the shallow foundations of the church over many years of graves being dug, and the church needed immediate corrective measures. Needed the bell taken out for the weight, and most of the roof taken down. Unfortunately, this method wasn't. There was a vestry meeting. They decided to go for the cheaper option. Got a local stonemason in to repair the church. Thomas Telford, although well thought of at this time, wasn't quite the legend that we know of him today. And again, money talks, so the cheaper option was taken. But 2 days into the repairs, during a funeral service, ironically, the whole building started to shake. The vicar at the time evacuated the church, and then early the next morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, the bell struck 4, and the tower, which stood right here, half of it fell down. The church was completely ruined, the Church of St Chad's. And here we are standing in front of what was known as the Crypt of Old St Chad's. It was been excavated, and it's now believed that the crypt was put here as a crypt, but also to reinforce the weak, shallow foundations of the church. It was a shape of a rectangle that you can see going around here. There is a couple of little pillars left just to show you the remnants of it, and some very ancient artifacts have been found in this site during digs, archaeological digs, a stylus and other things. That's the Golden Cross just in the background there, the oldest pub in Shrewsbury, and some things to do with Old St Chad's have been found there also. Just down in the crypt of Old St Chad's, I thought I'd just come and have a look at this, what I thought was a fossil, but it's not actually. It's quite mysterious. It's actually quite an intricate drawing of an arch. I don't know when this would have been done, whether it is part of the original church, but it's here at the bottom of the crypt. Very interesting. Just moving up from the crypt, just having a look at some of the memorials. gravestones surround the side. I think it's the west side of the Ladies' Chapel. And we've got some memorial stones here, very interesting with the vaulted placement. Still in good condition, they look like they've sort of avoided the weather here. Is that one? Can't read the Roman numerals. And this one's in very good condition considering it was been here since 1699. Some quite mysterious writing here at the bottom, I'm not sure what that is. If anybody knows, feel free to leave a comment. We've got another well-known Shrewsbury resident laid to rest here, and that would be the wife of William Taylor Fleur, Mary, his wife, the sister of Sir Wellington Hill, who was a very well-known general in the Napoleonic Wars, the left-hand man, or right-hand man, I'm not sure, of Wellington himself, featured in a lot of sharp books and history books. Quite interesting. Now, of course, Old St Chad's Ladies' Chapel is surrounded by grade 2, grade 3 listed buildings as far as the eye can see. A lot of these have got Georgian facades, but the buildings themselves are quite a bit older. Very, very old door here on the Ladies' Chapel, 1663. That is one old door. And the story of this ancient door is that originally it would have been placed way over there in the nave of the church, which is now gone, but luckily the door survived the ruin of the church and was reused here with this section that's been filled in after the church fell. This would have been open, of course, inside the church, but now it's the entrance to the Ladies' Chapel. But this door, it's withstood wars, it's withstood the church falling down, and it was here during the 1665-1666 outbreak of the plague, and if it could talk, it would have many stories, but it is a door, so it can't talk. So that was the third-rate content perspective of Old St Chad's St Mary's Ladies' Chapel in the heart of Shrewsbury, Shropshire. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you soon on third-rate content.